Hi guys, it's Machaela and welcome to another pregnancy update. I am doing these monthly this time, so this pregnancy update will be from weeks 9 to 12. I am so excited. This month has been rough. It has been a very rough month. I've got my notes on my phone and I actually have two ultrasounds to show you this time. I'll explain in a minute what happened, but we did have a little bit of a miscarriage scare, but I'll go ahead and get into that as I go through the last 4 weeks. So again, I've got my notes on my phone. Let's go ahead and start where I was at around week 9, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in the last video, but the morning sickness has started to ease as of week 9. I am slowly able to eat more food again, more normal food. Right now I am, again, it's just a slow process. I'm not quite there yet, but it is getting better. I am feeling a little bit better lately. So that started in week 9. I also started getting random aches and pains, like the most random spots, the most random time, whether it's my back or, maybe I just move weird and I feel like I pull a muscle. It's just kind of random, not really anything I can explain. And lots of movement. And starting in week 10, I went from just kind of like the swishing little light movements to full on, like I can feel the baby rolling around in my tummy. And I know it's very early still, but I am feeling the baby. It's not like butterfly feelings. Like the movements are different this time than with my other two girls. By the other two girls, I did start feeling them by like weeks 13, 14, 12 with my youngest. But now the movements are, it felt like butterflies, it felt like a swishing, or yeah, it felt like butterflies with them. But this time it's more like swishing, and I can like full on like feel movements and tumbling, so it's a lot more pronounced this time around than it was with the girls, and it just with more time, and it keeps getting more pronounced, and the baby keeps getting more pronounced. My bump is starting to get more round and more full. My boobs, they hurt. The tenderness, it's like it comes and goes, but like if I bump it on something, or I do something weird, like I can feel the tenderness, but I'm not like walking around, oh my boobs are, I'm not walking around like, they don't just hurt for no reason. They hurt if I like hit them on something, or playing with kids or something. I did start craving french fries around week 10. Cravings are weird this time around. I haven't, I'm wanting french fries, but it's like I go out to order something and I'm like, oh, okay, french fries and hamburgers. I'm like, I don't want hamburgers, I just want a side of french fries. So what I've been doing is I'm able to do like the tri-tip sandwiches, so I'll do that and then get the french fries. Honestly, I could just probably order a side of french fries with wherever I go. But, so I have been craving that. The salt potatoes, anything kind of potato related, whether it's hash browns or mashed potatoes or anything more potato related. I've always liked potatoes, but this time it's kind of more in tune. I am still not wanting meat. Meat to me is, I can do red meat more this time. Like with my last pregnancy, I could not do red meat at all, and this time I can't do white meat. I can do a little bit of red meat, especially now that I'm in week 12. I can, I was able to eat a burger yesterday, and I haven't been able to for the last couple of months. So I'm still staying away from chicken. I can't stand the thought of chicken, the smell of chicken, anything white meat I cannot do. But I can do like tri-tip and like red meat. I mean, I'm not full blown like eating a steak or anything just yet, but I can do like meat in a sandwich or meat in small quantities. I was able to have stir fry on Mother's Day, and that actually tasted really good to me, so that red meat within that stir fry was really good. So, that was nice. So week 11 has by far been the most difficult week. My husband and I traveled for our anniversary. I was hitting that 11-week mark, and then about halfway through, we only stayed out one night, but I had gotten the flu. So anyway, he had the flu, and I got the flu, and the whole family got the flu. But I'd gotten the flu, and I could not keep anything down. It's not morning sickness related. We came home early for our trip, and then from there, I could not keep anything down for like a good couple of days, and even after that, It was just hard. It kind of lingered, and I think a little bit of morning sickness was mixed in towards the end there. But so week 11 has by far been the hardest week of pregnancy. I had woke up one morning. The flu at this point was pretty much over. So I was getting ready to take my daughter to dance. I was almost out the door, and all of a sudden I got this excruciating pain in my back and in my pelvis, and I went to the bathroom, and there was a lot of blood there, and I thought, I'm losing this baby. I was so scared. My heart sank. My husband was at work. I had the kids with me. Thank God we had not left the house yet, because that would have been so scary. And from there, I had doubled over in pain. I called my husband and I said, I think something's wrong. I don't know if this is a miscarriage. I don't know what's going on. I'm in so much pain. I have had that kind of pain before my pregnancy, but it was not accompanied by any bleeding, so I didn't think much of it. I had called my parents. I had said, I need help. Something's wrong. I need you to come get the kids until my husband gets home from work. After that, I had called my doctor, and they said, okay, they had me explain what was going on. They're like, okay, is it in the center? Is it on one side or the other of your pelvis? And I said, well, I'm not really feeling anything on my right side, but my left side is excruciating and I cannot move. So they said, and I'm like, I'm bleeding. They asked how much I was bleeding. They said, and I told them, I'm like, there's a lot of blood. It's darker than what I'm used to, but there was no tissue. I wasn't soaking up a pad. And I had talked to them a few times that day, and they said, okay, as long as you're not soaking up a pad every hour, as long as, it's not super dark, it's not tissuey. They said, I think it's fine. It does not sound like miscarriage symptoms to me. It sounds like you moved wrong or you overdid it. Lay down, rest, get somebody to take care of the kids. My parents were able to get the kids within about 10 minutes, and my husband was on his way home and he within the next hour and a half, he had came home. He'd picked up the kids, and he just kind of came home and sat with me and checked with me and took care of me for that day. I had called later that day, and I'm like, well, we're still bleeding. It's heavy. It's not easing up, but it's not getting worse. And then they said, okay, we have an opening, 2 days later in the morning. Let's see how the next 24 hours go, and we'll just assess you. But thankfully later that day, I had felt the baby move, so that put a lot of ease on my mind. But for about 2 days there, I was scared, I was worried, I was upset. I did feel baby move. I was able to eat, not a lot at that point, but I was able to eat enough. So 2 days later, I went to my OB. My husband took the day off work, helped me out with the kids, comforted me, went back to work the next day. And then the following day after that, he was like, okay, you know what, I'm taking the day off. It is, if you are miscarrying, I want to be there for you. I don't want to let you be alone with bad news. At that point, I kind of knew everything was okay. I'd been feeling baby. I wasn't too worried about it too much because, the initial pain that I had, it had eased up throughout the day. It was really excruciating. The whole day, though, I was down for the full day because I couldn't really get up, and though I was able to get up throughout the day, I wasn't able to do much. And then, of course, I for about the last week or so, I just not lifting anything super heavy. I'm not doing anything more than the necessary lifting, and even that, I'm cutting that back. So as of right now, I'm just making sure I'm careful. But we had gone to my doctor's appointment 2 days later, he had said, baby looks great, baby will not stop moving. What are you, this baby's just so active. He couldn't believe how active the baby was, and I had been feeling baby quite frequently at that point, and that was the biggest thing from the start of the bleeding to my doctor's appointment, that I'm like, okay, baby's fine. That and the nurse practitioner telling me the baby, it doesn't sound like you're miscarrying. So baby was fine. It was such a relief. The doctor said, you look good. He couldn't explain the bleeding. It's like, I don't really know why you're bleeding. Probably overdid it. You know, my guess is it's because I had the flu. I probably moved wrong right before I started the bleeding. I just got finished shaving my legs that morning, so I probably moved wrong. I've also heard, like, through other YouTube videos that you know, people popping a blood vessel, so I have a feeling that might have been what had happened. You're very sensitive, you know, your cervix is all very sensitive, so it's not uncommon to bleed, although it is scary, and the more blood you have, the scarier it is. So, but anyway, it scared me. I was upset. I was like, no, God, you know, don't let me lose this baby, you know, everything's fine, you know, I'm feeling baby's doing great. I'm doing good. You know, I was really dehydrated, so that was a worry. There were a couple times there where I probably should have gone to urgent care to check everything out, but I managed to I was able to be okay. My doctor just wasn't worried about the dehydration. He just said, drink lots of fluids, don't worry about what you can't do what you can. So after he said everything was fine, I was happy. You know, I've been good ever since. So that scared me. It's not uncommon to bleed in pregnancy. It's just scary. But of course, if you're experiencing any of these symptoms, go to your doctor. This is just my experience. And if I do continue to have these random pains, I haven't had any since that incident, but if they do continue, I will be consulting my doctor more and seeing if there are any further steps that needed to be taken, but nothing looked out of the ordinary. Let's move on to week 12, which is where I am at right now. At the time I am filming this, I am 12 weeks in 3 days? Yeah, 12-3 as of today. I have been, you know, constipated. It's harder for me to go to the bathroom. That's perfectly normal. Of course, with my girls, I went to the bathroom a lot more when I was, you know, with the girls' pregnancy, and this time I'm feeling like it's a lot harder. I'm worried about hemorrhaging. That's not uncommon. I had that in both my past pregnancies, but, you know, I just, you know, trying to stay on top of that. I'm feeling much better now. I can feel the second trimester coming on. I'm still a little bit low on energy, but not like I was a month ago. A month ago, I could hardly do anything, and now I'm feeling the energy coming back. I'm starting to eat more. My hunger's increasing. I'm starting to want to eat more. I'm starting to have a desire to eat more. I'm not necessarily back to wanting to start cooking meals again every night, but I'm going to give it another month or so, and then I'll really start incorporating cooking back into my daily routine. My poor husband, he's like, I gotta go, you know, I gotta go get something to eat, or we live close enough to my parents that they're like, just come over and eat. And so, you know, I gotta come up with ideas. And actually, if you have any comments, I would love to know some of your meals that you're making, especially early on in pregnancy, that don't trigger morning sickness, that are easy to make. So please leave your comments below, leave your recipes below, go message me on Instagram. I really could use your advice on just nice, easy meals to make that are on the healthier side. I mean, if they're not the world's healthiest option, I'm okay with that. Leave that below. I need to know something that I can start making that's not a snack, that's not going to trigger morning sickness. I know each person's different, but I want to know what's been helping you in that you're still able to not go out and eat for every meal. I mean, we've got snacks and stuff. We munch all day long. We've got snacks. I mean, everyone's fed. Everyone's got meals. I'm just not full on using the stove and cooking an elaborate meal right now. It's kind of like eggs and toast. So I am tolerating smells better. I mean, things do still stink for me. Just, it's getting more tolerable. Again, just getting into that second trimester. I'm not as nauseous. The nausea's easing up. I'm feeling better. I am so happy. I am feeling so much better. And so it's been nice that, you know, I'm still expecting to walk into a room and be like, no thank you. And though some of that initial is like, okay, but once I just kind of tough it out for like a minute or two, I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm fine, right? As long as nobody's cooking chicken or using heavy spices, I can tolerate the smells better. But please, you know, anyone who knows me, and if I'm coming around you, please stay away from the chicken. Please. But yeah, we're ending our first trimester. I'm so excited. Month 3 though. It's been another difficult month. I can feel the energy, I can feel happy again, I can feel better. I'm still not wanting coffee so much, which is a huge bummer for me, especially hot coffee. Although I have been doing iced coffee. Usually if I'm out, I'll go buy like a Deo or something and pick up a Starbucks. Or not a Starbucks. I'm not doing Starbucks anymore. But I'll stop by a Deo or my local coffee shop and pick up an iced coffee, especially on days that I'm like feeling a drug and I just kind of want a little bit of a pick-me-up. You are allowed, I've heard 200 milligrams and I've also heard 300 milligrams of caffeine per day. I'm keeping my teas decaf so I can have that kind of, I usually want something a little bit sweeter and caffeinated like midday. I already had my iced coffee today, so I've got plenty of energy right now. But, so yeah, I am tolerating iced coffee, which is nice because I really do like that caffeine pick-me-up. I was told I can do vitamin B12 complex. I hate taking stuff that I'm not familiar with, especially while I'm pregnant, so I know I can take it. I just haven't yet, and I'm thinking if I'm going to need it, I want to talk to my doctor probably one more time before I start taking it. But yeah, I'm feeling so much better. I am so excited. Let's go ahead and show you my 2 ultrasounds. So this was the ultrasound I got at my 10-week checkup. Little butterbean there is getting big, moving around like crazy. It took the doctor a minute to get a good shot, but there's my little butterbean right there. And there's the ultrasound picture from my emergency doctor's appointment. You can see the little face there. He looks kind of crazy. He or she looks kind of crazy, so I think that's kind of funny, but we had a little smile there and the arms and the legs and moving around. This was, I was about 11 and a half weeks at this point. I just like that space looks kind of scary, but it's so cool because it's a little baby inside of me and baby's moving and we got to see his or her face for the first time. And my husband was there and that was the first live ultrasound he saw. That wasn't a picture. He thought that was so cool to be able to see that and he was so excited. But yeah, looks kind of creepy. Alright, and here's my 12 and a half week bump shot. Here's a side view. I've got my shorts on. Here's a front view. I definitely feel like I am popping out more, especially this week. I lost a lot of weight when I was dealing with the flu, but I feel like I gained all that weight back fast. And here's another side view. Can't really suck in anymore, but that's all baby bump right there. And again, it is my 3rd pregnancy, so I am showing a lot sooner. I feel like I'm definitely showing a lot sooner this time than I was my last 2. But yeah, I'm excited. I totally forgot to go into some baby stats real quick, so before we end the video, let's go ahead and do that. The baby, at this point, I'm just going off the 12 weeks map, but the baby is the size of a lime this week, and our baby, pretty much everything is formed. All of the major organs are formed. Everything's right where it's supposed to be, and according to my ultrasounds, everything looks fine. Now it's just about maturing. Just everything that's there, that's been formed, it's going to just mature and keep maturing until the baby's born, and then we just mature through the rest of our lives, and that's just the way it goes. But yeah, everything seems good, so I'm so excited. Didn't really get into baby stats too much this time around, but I've got more detailed stats in my last pregnancy, so I'll link that playlist down below as well as this pregnancy playlist down below, and I will make sure to link this pregnancy's playlist down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do videos focusing on beauty and lifestyle, and I will see you in the next video. God bless, and bye guys.